Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Right. Good morning and good afternoon to everyone, or good evening. Right. It's a great privilege meeting you all once again, and I'm happy to also share with you the knowledge that we've acquired so far in the name of research, and for you also to acquire the skills needed for today's research. I want you to feel free and then ask questions when it is due. From now, if you have any question, just write it in the chat box and you will be able to also answer you right after the entire program, talking about each section. I'm going to present on how you'll be able to develop ideas of research, how you'll be able to work on the ideas for it to become a good one for your personal project or your dissertation or thesis. So as we follow, you also follow same, and then you ask questions that you need to ask. Please, moderator, kindly allow disable. You've disabled my screen sharing, so kindly allow me, able me so that I'll be able to share the screen, please. Mr. Mike, kindly do that for me so that I share the screen with my participant. Okay.
Okay.
Right. I'm waiting. So as we are in waiting, today is going to be a hands-on practical thing that we are going to do. And so I urge you all to be able to understand things that we are going to do, and feel free at the question time. You should be able to ask the questions that you are to ask. And please, there is someone talking at the background, so I'll plead the person. Please, please, please. I'm pleading with the person to mute herself so that we don't disturb the other participant. Right. Okay. I hope you can all hear me once again.
Yes, we can.
All right. So I'm sharing the screen, as you can see. Sharing the screen for all of us. Now you can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Can you all see the screen now? Hello?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once again, morning and afternoon and evening to everyone that you've joined us here. This is Fugen International and a consulting agency in Ghana, Netherlands, and Italy. And today, we are also in Nigeria. Today, we are going to present to you, as we've made the flyer available to all of us, the details of what we've made on it. So as I start, how you'll be able to develop your research idea. How you'll be able to develop your research idea. So you may ask yourself, what is research all about? And everybody wants to do research. What is it all about? And research is something that is close to all of us. We deal with it every day. In our daily life, we do research. So all that we are going to do is around us. And today we are going to break the status quo. Today, we are not going to do things normal, like the way other presenters will go by the normal procedures of making their presentation. I want you to understand that we are not in normal times. So with this, we are also going to make things not in a normal way. You get me? So pay attention as I scroll to my next slide for you to understand why we do research and why we are to also plan, why we are also to design, and why we are also to have a good project, talking about dissertation, right? So what is research? And you can see from the slide, research, what is it? It is an introspection that we do make. Talking about introspection is an inquiry that we do make, either scientific or not scientific. But today, research work has come to the point that it has to be scientific. Introspection in a way that you make inquiry about things around you. And I've been telling some people that every researcher knows the end of the research from the beginning. Every researcher knows the end of the research from the beginning. Why? Because you have a mindset about what you want to do. You have a mindset about what is around you. So as I speak to you, look left or right at where you are sitting, you can see clearly that there are certain things that will drop your attention. And with this, you'll be able to have a way of coming out with ideas. And the moment you decide that you want to come out with an idea and find out what it is, then you are making a point of what? Research. So research simply is an introspection. Research simply making an inquiry to find out what the other side of it is. Right. What is a research topic that I call it RT? Research topic is having an initial idea or having a good or bad idea about something. And you intend to make that thing that you have about it to be a way of finding how the thing is all about. Research topic. So you can see from the diagram or on the screen, you can see that we have a lot of fields that has been joined together. You know, in research, we call something ontology. Hello, everyone. Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So as
Yes, sir.
right. So as I end, if you have any questions, you drop it in the chat box so we do answer before we move to the next section of our presentation, the practical aspect of the software of Mendeley. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome any questions as at now. If not, we move to the Mendeley application as our next one. Any question? Yeah. Is there any question in the chat box? Moderator, please, could you also check for me? Could you also check for me any questions there?
Yeah, I have one, please.
All right. Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Estelle. I am a first year PhD student in university here in Germany. Yeah, my first question is to talk about the research project thesis design. And I was wondering, why is it so important for, not only PhD students, but researchers in general to publish their research? Is it because of the name or, the reputation? Is it all about like reputation or, yeah, because I was just wondering, why is it so important to publish? because in my lab it's like I have to publish before I finish my PhD research, and sometimes the experiment or maybe the research might take longer. But if I have to just limit myself, or maybe spend 9 years of my PhD research just because I want good data to publish, I think I think.
Yeah, right. And thank you for your question. And please, one after the other, so that we can sort everybody to the fullest. All right. Sorry for cutting you. Right. To your question, it's of a good importance because you are saying, like I said earlier on, every researcher knows the end of the research from the beginning. You see, when you submitted your research proposal to the university you are in Germany now, you had a mindset, you have the ideation, right? There you had the ideation about something that you want to make an inquiry into, and you want to test hypothesis. You see, I didn't go so much details about the presentation. So if you had the ideation, you want to test whether what you have in mind is true or not, right? So when you have these kind of things after testing that it is true or it is false, you have to let the society know because it is around you. The idea that you had it from the environment, from the society. You get it, the things around you. So after getting the idea, it is of good importance, not about reputation. It's of good importance. And I keep telling other friends around that it is a need to let people know what you've inquired about and the outcome, and it may save a life. So it's not about reputation. It's about the result that you've had that have to benefit society. So you can see my planning orbit. I said that you need to share impact. You see, after you have been able to do your research, you have to make that kind of impartation to other people. You see, because of the inquiry made into coronavirus issues, we've gotten so many vaccines. It's not about reputation. So in academia, they believe that you have come out with an idea, and the idea that you've come out with, it has to come and solve, eliminate, and make things better. So after all these days that you sat behind the PC, learning, making inquiry, discovering, analyzing data, at the end of the day, you want to keep the result to yourself. You won't be happy about it. You are happy you've been able to identify something. You are happy you've been able to make analysis of something. And what is this thing? The problem. Every researcher make inquiries into a problem, why things are happening. So if the outcome is good or false or bad, you need to let them know about it. Understand? So it's not about reputation. And it is of this reason to impact society. That's the core reason why every doctoral school made it by force. Let me say now, even if you want to enter doctoral school, most of the universities, if you don't have one publication, they will not accept you because they feel like you are not part of the team. You don't know what you want to do. You want to see that you are in the field doing it, impacting with your knowledge. That's the research work. So it's not about the reputation. Reputation is a bonus of it. It's not about reputation, it's bonus. It's about how impactful you'll be impacting society with the knowledge and the result that you've had. So my dear one, whatever that you are researching into, have this thing also in mind, that how is what I'm going to do impact society? What I'm researching into, what's the benefit to society? That's the most important thing. Thank you. I hope you are answered.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Yes. Yes, my sister. Yes. You wanted to ask a question. Hello, please. You are about to ask a question, and yes. Please, any question again? Yes, please. Any question?
Yeah, by the way, when you were explaining about the 5W, you talk about the what, the why, the who, the where, but I don't know if I didn't hear about the when. When you were describing the 5W.
Okay. When it's talking about a period, you know, when it's talking about a period, the duration, every research must have a duration. That's talking about time bound. That also goes with financial issues. Talking about research budget, estimated budget. So the when is talking about the period. You get it? So you must work within a particular period, a framework that you want to do. Okay, in 6 months, I want to finish this project. And they will ask you, is it feasible? Every research work must be feasible. You should be able to do it. When you tell somebody, I want to do this, you should be able to do it. Is it feasible? You get it? Yeah, that is what you are to find out. As and when you want to work on the when, it's about the time, the period, the duration that you want to work around. Yeah, any question?
Yeah.
Meeting I do.
Yeah, I'm listening. The lady, okay.
I want the lady to finish.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, the lady should talk all. Okay, right.
Yes. So the question I wanted to ask is that sometimes people do work and then they'll say they've plagiarized. We didn't touch on that. How do we know that the work that you have done is clean, and then maybe you don't know that you have tried somebody to be possible? So how will you know that your work is free from all that, so that the impact that you want to make is genuine?
Right. Like I said earlier on, there is no research that doesn't have gaps. So we keep saying that there's nothing new under the sun. Every researcher build upon the gaps that he or she has identified in particular research works. So those, most of the times, intentionally or unintentionally, or my professor would say the lazy researchers will go and then dab. I want to use the word dab. I don't want to say copy. They will dab word to word at times some portion of people's work. And that's how come we call them the works being plagiarized. So if you don't want to plagiarize somebody's work, that's why Mendeley is there for you. In a simple term, Mendeley application is there for you. You get it? If you want to do genuine work, you identify the gaps and you make the gaps your own, you work on the gaps. So as you work on your own, you compare to the work that other people have done. There should be changes in it, not same. But with Mendeley application, how you'll be able to reference it, to avoid plagiarism, you should be able to reference the people that they have written the piece that you want to also use. That will avoid the plagiarism for you. And now there are other softwares around called plagiarism checker. We have Tornatin, you know, a lot of them are there. You can also use those ones for your plagiarism checking. Yeah. Hope you are answered. Any other question?
Yeah.
Any other question? Feel free so that we end this section for the second section to take over. Please, any other question? There was one lady, the lady should forgive me. She wanted to ask a question and I told her, let me finish answering the other lady, but it's unfortunate. She should forgive me. It's unfortunate. Right. Is there any other question?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Steven.
Okay.
Yes, I'm pursuing an MPhil program at the University of Ghana.
Okay.
To come up with a thesis topic to be able to complete my program. Actually, I'm working at the same time, having difficulty making time for my project. I mean, it's been very difficult coming up with a thesis topic. I'm a bit stuck. I don't know what to do.
Right.
So I said something up on how to go about coming up with a good topic. I mean, pertaining to the course I pursued to be able to finish with it.
Right. The program you are doing again, Steven?
Actually, it's in computational science and engineering.
Communication science.
Computational science.
Computational science, good.
Yes, engineering.
I believe you are doing an MPhil, is full of research, or MSc is full of research in academia and industry. But what I want to tell you is that the things that I taught earlier on, you see, what you want to develop, the idea, the things are around you. But for you to be able to know what to do, think about the courses that you are doing. As at now, your course models. See, there is something called the theory. Theory about something is the most important thing. So you should think about the courses that you are doing. And as you think about the courses that you are doing, you think about the things around you, make a link up. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Make a link up. Like now, you are from Ghana. Let me use Ghana as an example. Talking about the monetary system in Ghana, the rate at which the Ghana cedi, the currency, is chasing, what do you call it, the dollar. You see, you use a lot of the Ghana currency before we can get even a dollar. I think now 5 or 6 of the Ghana currency will give you a dollar. So when you look at this situation, when you go back to the field and you being an economic student, that's an example. In economics, you have something called the monetary policy. You've been taught about monetary policy, and you've been taught about inflation, the exchange rate. So these are the theories behind it. And so in reality, they are using more cedis to get $1. Then, okay, why is it so? And the idea will start coming. Let me work on why a lot of cedis are chasing only $1. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So in the same way at your field, think about the models that you are working on and then bring into reality. Let's assume that you are a journalist, or you are doing journalism, maybe BA in journalism, and you want to develop an idea in a simple term. There's a whole lot of corruption going on. So you want to write about corruption. You ask yourself, how can the media practicing that I'm practicing, because I know you'll be doing maybe media law, you'll be doing media insurance, a whole lot of stuff. You can link that to the corruption going on in your country. The same way to your field, the computational science. I think it's about computer analysis,
modeling
about
and
artificial
simulation.
intelligence, right?
Yes,
it's about
there's
artificial
some
intelligence.
machine learning and AI also in it.
Very good. Now, AI is the key. The AI is the key topic that people are writing about. But don't follow the masses. You have to be having the interest in it. You got to get the interest. That's why when I was talking about how you should go about your research, who does it interest? The group and yourself must have the interest. You get it? So with your own, you can talk about cryptocurrency. You get it? You can talk about, in Ghana, I heard in the news that there is some fraudulent attitude going on with the banking sector or online fraudness. So you can think about that. That is the physical thing happening, the reality happening. And you link up to your course model to get a theory behind it. I hope you are getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the best way to develop the idea. After developing the idea, then you think about how good it is. Check if it runs through the 5 W's plus the H, and it will help you.
All right.
I hope
Thank you
I
so
have
much.
answered you.
Yeah, that's been helpful.
Thank you. Yes, any question? Any question?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hello, I can hear you.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Hello, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm William Labi.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
William.
speaking from Ghana.
Okay.
Please, when you're going through your slides, I did not come across, I did not see anything like a recommendation. I think you can highlight something on it for us. Yeah, please, yeah.
Okay. Recommendation in the point of after research work. Is that not it?
Yes.
Right. Mostly I spoke about the conclusion and I was talking about the gaps. When you talk about recommendation, the gaps that you've seen, the limitations that you believe you couldn't work on, and it calls for future research, you talk about that. And your findings, you talk about your findings, how your findings can be used to help the society. That's recommendation. You see, when they made an introspection into the Oxford people made introspection into the coronavirus vaccine, after they came out with the vaccine, they brought a recommendation that beginning, the vaccine cannot be used in some part of the world. They recommended. I hope you are getting it. So similarly, when you do your research work, the results that comes out, you need to let people know that I recommend or I suggest. You see, in research, we don't force, but we suggest about the result outcome. I suggest that we can use this for that and that. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So you have to suggest your results. You are making a suggestion that it can be used for this, to solve this problem, to benefit society. That is what you need to think of when you're talking about recommendation. And normally, when you are concluding, we recommend. Thank you very much, and I hope you are answered. Yes, any question? We will soon move to the next session. Okay.
My last question is that do you, as in Fugen, do you render such a service for people who are busy? Suggest a topic for them and help them through so they are done with their research work?
Okay, thank you. It's very true. We do assist in that kind of work that you want to do. If you want to do your thesis or any other project that you want to do, we do assist students who want to do it. there are some people, like one guy called Steven. He said he is so busy he can't, he find himself wanting developing even the idea. Such a student, we can help you. We take you through the consultation. We consult the ideas, and then we take you to know the things that you need to do, so that when you present the main work to the professor before you, the professor will get to know that you are the one working on it. So we don't do the work like entirely, we do it without taking you through it. We also work on it, and then at the end of the day, we make you have the thing as your own. That is what we do. Any project at all, we work on it for you. So we do assist with such things. Thank you for the question. Yes, any questions, please feel free. Please feel free. Any question? All right. If you don't have any question, I will thank you all for being part of the program, and then I will humbly call the moderator to let the second facilitator, my good friend Mark Akofi, to take over the presentation.
Okay, we thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer. That was a great presentation. So we have Mark, who will be taking over.
All right, John. Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay.
So can I proceed?
Yes.
Okay. So thanks very much, and thanks Frimpong for that great presentation, and for setting the ball rolling on research. That's a great introduction. Sorry, please, we have some background noise, so kindly check your microphone and put it on mute. Yeah, my part is going to be a bit hands-on, but I can see that most people have joined with their phones already. But just to double check, if you can use a raise hand feature in Zoom, kindly indicate if you are joining with your laptop or a computer. So on the reactions button, when you click on it, you see a raise hand feature there. So if you are connecting with your PC, okay, I see 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I guess there's quite a few. And tablet.
Hello, the raise hand feature, where is it located?
So if you are connecting on a PC, you see reactions on the lower status bar in Zoom.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. And then when
So
you click on that reactions, you see raise hand. Okay, all right. So there's quite a lot of information. So at some point, I'll just pause and see if you can follow up with what I'm doing so that it doesn't become too theoretical. And once again, somebody's mic is on, please. This is very disturbing. I mean, it's not possible to follow through everything.
Possible, please unmute.
Okay. In the presentation, and it's being recorded. So maybe you would want to watch the presentation again, just to be able to follow up on some things that you probably didn't get during this session. And then with all this feedback in the background, it will be very disturbing and very uncomfortable. So please, let's try and then keep our mics mute. If you have any question while the presentation is ongoing, just type it in the chat box so that it will be helpful for all of us. So may I share my screen now? All right. Please let me know if you can see the screen. So to the moderator, can you see my screen? If you can see it, then everybody can, I'm sure.
Yes, very well.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So thanks again for the opportunity to introduce Mendeley. As mentioned earlier, my name is Mark. I'm from Ghana, but currently I live in Tokyo where I'm studying for my PhD. And I've also been using Mendeley for almost 5 years now. And since last year, I volunteered as a community advisor. So briefly, Mendeley community advisors are like a group of people who have used Mendeley for some time, and we have become accustomed to the software. So we volunteer to introduce it to others, and the Mendeley community also supports in doing this. So they provide the slides that we are using for the presentations. And at the end of the presentation, I'll also share some resources that you can use on your own if you want to take the presentation, the things you learn in the presentation further. So today's presentation is just an introduction, but at the end of the session, you should be able to confidently use Mendeley in your research work. You should be able to cite papers. You should be able to organize your library, and you should be able to not plagiarize other people's work. So the question came up earlier. So just an outline of the presentation. Briefly, I'll talk about how to use Mendeley, how to install it and create a user account, how to set up your library, how to manage your library, how to read, highlight, and annotate documents, how to add comments, and also a very important component of the software, using the citation plugin in Microsoft Word. And you can also join and create groups in Mendeley where you can share references. Then in the end, we can take some few questions. So what is Mendeley? Mendeley is actually a software, a free academic software that you can use in organizing your references when you are doing your write-up. So as most of us here are students and researchers, I believe this is something that we have already experienced. When you are writing, you will have to use a lot of documents, reports, publications, working papers, and all that, sometimes even web pages. And you will have to cite these documents and sources. And as we are aware, there are so many different types of citation styles. So depending on if you are writing, let's say, a journal article, or you're writing a book, or even if it is your thesis, your department may have a specific referencing style that they want you to follow. So the challenge is doing this referencing manually. Sometimes you write your thesis, and then what many people used to do, or probably are still doing, is that they will be writing the thesis, and then they'll have a separate page open where they'll be copying and pasting their references. So when they finish writing the whole thesis, they'll now have to come and then spend a whole day or even days trying to organize the references. And sometimes you find that some of them are missing. You have to now go through the whole work to find out which one you've cited in the test and which one is not in the reference list. Now in Microsoft Office Word, there's a feature, the citation feature, which you can actually use, but it's quite hectic because you will have to type in the name of the author yourself. You have to type in the date. You have to type in the title of the paper so that it will be able to generate it at the end automatically for you. Now with Mendeley, you can easily just hit a button on the web page of the document you want to use, and automatically it is imported in the right format into your Mendeley library. So the good thing about this software is also the fact that it's basically free. So once you install it, you have 2 GB of space for free, which is quite a lot for documents, because the PDF is just sometimes a few kilobytes, or at most some few megabytes in size. So you can save a lot of documents into your library, and you can use other good thing is that you can use this software offline. So you don't need to be connected to the internet. Now you can use Mendeley on Windows, you can use it on an Apple laptop. And if you're using a Linux operating system, you can also use it. And there are two versions. There's a desktop version, which you download and install. And then there's a web version, which you can open directly in a web browser. So all major web browsers support Mendeley. So if you are using Google Chrome, you're using Safari or Mac, or you are using Microsoft Edge, you can use Mendeley online. And the screenshots you see here actually are from Mendeley Mac, which is an Apple laptop, which is the screenshots you are seeing, but the interface is basically the same. So even if you are using a Windows laptop, you still see the same features. Now, how is Mendeley useful? I've already touched on that briefly. So it's not just a reference manager, it's a library. So you can download documents and then save them in your Mendeley library so that anytime you want to make use of these documents without internet, you can always open, and then you have your PDF files, you can read them, you can annotate them, you can add comments, you can add notes. And Mendeley also has a mobile version. So you can download the app from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store if you are using an iPhone, and you can set it up on your tablet or your mobile phone. So with one account, you have all your documents synced through these three sources: the desktop version, the online version, and also on your app. So it's the same library, which means that anywhere you are at any time, you can easily have access to your Mendeley library. Maybe you are in a van going to work, maybe you are in the car, you are just resting somewhere and you want to read something. You can easily pull it up on your phone in your Mendeley library, and then you can read it. You can add comments to what you are reading and save it. And there is a syncing feature. So when you sync on one device, automatically any change you make will reflect across all three platforms. So if, let's say, you are reading a document on your phone and you come across something interesting, and then you highlight that document and you save it on your phone, automatically that highlight will appear in the same document on your desktop app and then in your web library. So these are just a few benefits of Mendeley. We will explore more as the presentation is proceeding. So how do you start with using Mendeley? It's very simple. First, you need to sign up and then have an account. So you set up an account where you create a username and then the password. So with this username and password, use that same username to log in on your desktop app, use it to log in online in the web browser, and then use it to log in on your mobile phone. So you have one library in all three places. So for those who are joining on the PC, if you don't already have Mendeley, I will suggest you set up the account right now so that as we demonstrate how to do certain things, you'll be able to follow through that. So let me quickly come back to Zoom and then see how many people have Mendeley installed. You can just show by raising hand again if you have installed Mendeley. So if not, then just create the account and I'll take you to the website. So in the web browser, just go to Mendeley. So mendeley.com. Yeah, so I'm already logged in, which is why you are seeing this interface. So let me sign up. All right. So if you don't already have an account, when you open the website, this is the interface that you will see. Yeah, just as the screenshot in the slide. So all you need to do is to create a free account. When you click on this red button here, it will ask you for some few information. You can enter it and then your account will be set up. And when you scroll down, there are other features here which we will use later. If you want to download the app, this is the reference manager in the download section. So I'll entreat you, after creating the account, also download the desktop version and install it. So it's right here, download Mendeley. You can click on that and then you have it downloaded. It's very small. in size, and you can easily set it up. So let's take just a minute, and then if you have been able to do so, kindly lower your hand for the first question. So some still have their hands up. You can lower it now. Okay. Yeah, so if anybody has been able to set up the account, once you are done, just maybe show the hand again so that I'll proceed with the presentation. So in your browser, just go to mendeley.com, and then you see this interface to create the account. Has someone been able to do it? Just raise a hand. So for those using mobile phones, if you want, you can download the app also on your phone. All right, I see Steven has been able to do that. Frimpong has been able to do it. Yeah. You can download the app, but then the interface here is different, so you might not be able to follow through what we'll do practically, but you can rewatch the video later and then practice on your PC. Yeah. So 2 people have been able to set up the account. Let's aim for 5. And then we continue. Okay. 3 now. Ajua has been able to do it. I think 4. Have Siba. I hope I mentioned your name correctly. Yeah, you've done it. And one more. Okay, Samsung. That's good. So at least 5 people have been able to create the account, and then hopefully they have downloaded the desktop app also. So if you downloaded the desktop app, just use the account you created to log in. So your username and then your password, just use it to log in the desktop app, because from now on we are going to be working in the app. Okay, so I'll come back to the presentation. Great. So once you sign up, you should be able to download the app and then log in to the app. So if you log in, let me switch to my desktop directly so that you'll be able to see how it looks like. So if you log into the desktop app, this is the view that you get. This is the interface you are going to get. So you have 3 columns. And then in the first column, which is on the left, you have some functions. So there used to be a search bar here. For some reason, I no longer have it in mind. So maybe those of you using Windows, you might see a search literature bar here, which you can use to search for documents and add it. Apart from that, every other thing here is the same. So you have all documents recently added, recently read. So if you click on the all documents, it will give you a list of all the documents that you have in your Mendeley library. Now, if you check below, you will see that in my library, I have different folders. So that's another good thing about Mendeley. You can organize your papers, your documents into different folders, depending on what you are working on. Maybe today you are writing, even if it is your thesis, maybe chapter 1. So you have downloaded some documents you want to use for chapter 1. You don't want them to be merged or get mixed up with other papers. So you can create a folder and name it chapter 1. I'll show you how to create a folder. So if you click all documents, regardless of the folder in which the document is, all of them are going to display here. So if you have just created the account, since you have not added any documents yet, you are going to have this blank interface in the middle. Ideally, this is where the documents will show. So recently added will show you the documents that you've just added, the new documents you've added to your library, recently read, the documents that you've read currently. And there's also a favorites button, which is a star. So maybe you have a lot of documents in your library, but among them, you mark some as very important. So I remember back in the day, what we used to do is, so if you see any document that you want to use, you have a folder, maybe you name it My Thesis, and then chapter 1, chapter 2. So all important documents, you save them in that folder. But among those documents, you see 1 or 2 documents that are very important for your work. So you rename and say important, you rename another one and say very important in that order. So Mendeley helps you to overcome this challenge. If a paper is very important to you, you just star it. Like you click on the star next to it, and then it becomes a favorite. So when you click on the favorite button, all the papers that you have marked as favorite are going to be sorted and displayed on your screen. Then needs review. So with the needs review, it's going to show you documents in your library that have incomplete details. So maybe you added a book, one of the author names is missing, or the year of publication is missing, or you added a journal article and then the volume number, issue number, or the journal name or publisher is missing. Mendeley will automatically identify these documents as needing review, which means that there's some incomplete information. So when you click on that button, it's going to show you these documents, and you have the option to update the details of these documents before Mendeley will finally save it in your library. And you have a section for my publication. So you, as an individual, if you have published papers, or if you have published, even if it is reports, your personal documents that you have authored, you can easily put them in this folder. And then there are some other documents that don't belong to any category. So they fall in the unsorted section. Maybe you have not added them to any folder. They fall under that section. So you will see in my library, I have books, I have climate and gender, I have course reading. So these are folders that I have created. So to create a folder is very simple. Just a quick one. Who has been able to install a desktop app and has signed in? Has anybody been able to do that? Just to make sure that you are seeing this same screen that I'm sharing. Okay, Adjo has done that. Steven. Okay, all right. Okay. So to create a folder, you will see in that column, create folder button. So it's very simple. Just click on it, and then it gives you the option to enter the title of your folder. So let's say you name this My Project. So that folder is added, My Project. So basically, that's how you create a folder. So in that column, in the first column, this is what you can do. You can create a folder, and then you can also create a group. We'll come back to the groups later. And then there's also a trash can here. So if you delete a document from your library, it goes into the trash can. So if you want to see all the documents that you have deleted, you find them in this trash can. I think they remain there for 30 days or so. After that, they become permanently removed from your library. And there's also this nice filter section here. So maybe you have a lot of documents, like I have close to 2,000 documents in my library. And then I want to filter them. I'm looking for a document. I want to quickly locate maybe documents authored by one particular person. So this filter section gives you the chance to filter by authors. So if you select the filter by authors, it's going to arrange all your documents in alphabetical order based on the names of the authors. And then you can also filter by tags. So I'll show you how to create a tag soon. Maybe you are reading a paper, you have just many papers in your library, especially those that are unsorted, and then you've not added them to any folder. So you are reading it, and even in the same folder, maybe in your write-up, you have created a subheading. So you are writing on climate change, and you have created a subsection. You want to talk about climate change in Ghana, but you have a folder where all your climate change papers, all global whether global, or regional, or country specific, are all, merged in this folder. So if you are reading the paper and you want to quickly isolate it from the others without creating a new folder and move that document there, you can tag it. So you click on the document, I'll show you how to create a tag, and then you can tag it as climate change Ghana or climate change in Ghana. So if you are writing and you want to quickly sort out all documents that are dealing with climate change in Ghana, you can come to filter by tags. And then you will see the tag named climate change in Ghana. And when you click on it, all papers that you have tagged as climate change in Ghana are going to be displayed in your library. So that's it for this first column. Now in the second column, you will see this is where the paper or the document is going to be displayed. So I'll select my one of my folders and just now before then, let me just explain this and then we'll do the import so that it will be easier to follow. So in the second section, you see the star. The star is, as I've mentioned earlier, is a favorite. So if you have your papers displayed here and you want to display only your favorites, you click on the star here and only favorites will show. The second button, which is the black dot, is for the papers you have read. So if you want to sort out or arrange your papers by those you have read and those that you have not read, when you click on this black dot here, it's going to arrange your papers in that order. And then the third one, which looks like a paper, is actually for full text documents. So in Mendeley, you can add only references and then you can add references with their PDF. So if you want to sort out only PDF documents, when you click on this paper kind of icon, is going to display only the PDF documents in your library. And the next section is the same. If you want to sort by authors, you just click on the authors. If you want to sort it by the title of the publication, you do that. And you can also do it by year. You can do it by the source. So if you click publish in, it's going to display them according to the source, maybe the journal names or the book publishers. And this added section shows you the date that the document has been added in the Mendeley library. Now on the far right, which is the third column, this is where you see the details of the document you have added. Okay, so you see details. When we start importing a document, you see it, and then notes. If you have added notes to that document, they will display in this tab, and then the contents. You will be able to see specific details, the author name, the abstract of the document. You'll be able to see the year it has been published, and even the URL and then DOI, and all other bibliometric information associated with the paper or the document. So let's see what we have on the next slide. So this slide, I've already gone through it, talks about the various functionalities that you've seen from the first, second, and then the third columns. Now, let's move to the next stage, how to import a document so that you begin to see how those functions that I mentioned work. So we are going to see how to set up your library. And the first thing we need to do, you need to add documents. To be able to start organizing your library, you need to add your documents first. So there are three main ways, or there are four ways in which you can add documents to your Mendeley library. So the first one is add files, where you have the option, maybe you've downloaded a PDF and saved it on your computer. So if you click on the add files, it will open a pop-up window, and then you navigate to the folder on your desktop and select that PDF, and it will automatically be added. Now, the good thing is when you select the PDF, Mendeley will automatically extract the bibliometric information associated with that paper. So you don't have to manually enter the author names. You don't have to manually enter the title. You don't have to enter the year of publication. Automatically, Mendeley will extract this information from that PDF and then arrange it in the library for you. Then you can add an entire folder. So maybe you have a group of documents in one folder. You can add that whole folder, and all documents in that folder will automatically be added. It's the same thing. Mendeley will extract all the necessary bibliometric information from each document and then add it in your library. Then you can also add a watch folder. So this watch folder, as the name literally means, you are assigning a particular folder on your computer for Mendeley to keep watching it for new documents. So maybe in your downloads folder, if you are using, I think Windows is common. If you download a document, automatically there's a folder in your downloads section named documents. So every document you download goes to that particular folder. Now, what happens is if you use this watch folder option, Mendeley will allow you to select that particular folder or any other folder that you have on your PC, which you normally save documents to. So anytime a new PDF or a new document is added in that folder on your computer, Mendeley will automatically add it in your library. So you don't have to come and then import it here again. And then there's an option to add entry manually. So here, maybe you found a working paper, or maybe you found a report, or you found a document that is not from any published source, or you only want to cite a document. You don't need the PDF in your library. So the only thing you need is the bibliometric information, the author name, the title, the year, and maybe the source. So with the add entry manually option, you can click on this option and then you enter this information to add only those details. So this is something that you rarely use, because even if you don't want to add the PDF and you need only that information, you can add the PDF. Mendeley will extract the information. You can delete the PDF from your library. So I'll switch back to my app and then we'll go through this practically. So let's try and then add our first document. So if maybe you have a PDF document on your laptop, the first option that we have seen is the add file. So when you click, just navigate to the top left corner, you see the add button, and then there's a small arrow to it. So when you click on the arrow, you see add files. So if I click on the add files, you see it has opened a pop-up window, and this is my downloads folder. So you can navigate to anywhere on your PC, your desktop, your downloads, or your document section, depending on where you have a document saved. So I'll go to my downloads, and this is a paper that I saved from online. All you need to do is to select, you can select multiple papers at the same time, and then you click on open. So there we have it. Automatically, Mendeley has added it in your library. So now you can see that the star there is white because I've not marked it as favorite. And then under the black dot is appearing as green. So green means I have not yet read the document. Once I double click and open it, and I read it for maybe about 2 to 3 minutes, automatically this will change to black, indicating that I have read the document. And you can see the author names here. You can see the title of the paper. You can see the year in which it is published. And you can see the source or where it has been published. The journal name is Renewable Energy. And the last section tells you the date it has been added. So to get more details, which is the last column on the right, you just click on this and you see that those details have now appeared. So one other thing here is that Mendeley will ask you to check if these details are correct. So if you check and then you find that there's some missing information, it gives you the option to automatically update it. So if you find out that maybe the journal name is missing, the year of publication is missing, or maybe the abstract or some other information is missing, you just click on this search button. Automatically, it will search for the document online and then put in the missing information for you. So here you see the article type is journal article. And then you have the title, you have the authors, you have the journal, you have the year, you have the abstract, the page numbers, all information that you need to enable you to do your citation, and the PDF file is added. So if I don't need the PDF, I simply come to this small cross here in white, click on it, and the PDF will be deleted. So this is the first way to add a document in your Mendeley library. And then the second way to do this is to add a folder. It's basically the same process. So when you click, instead of now opening individual documents in folders, it will give you only folders. So you can select an entire folder, and what you do is click OK. I'm not going to do that now because I don't need all the documents in my download folder, but this is how you do it. And then the third option is to add the watch folder. So it's the same thing. It gives you folders, and then when you select a particular folder, Instead of this time around clicking open, you see it will ask you to just click apply and then okay. So when you do this, what it means is that anytime you download a document in that particular folder without even opening your Mendeley app, automatically Mendeley is going to add it in your library. And then the last option is to add entry manually, which you rarely do. So here to add them, it means you have to type in this stuff yourself. You can just click edit and add. And you can select the document type. So maybe it's a working paper, maybe it's a web page, it's a thesis, you select the document type here. And you see that when you select it, the sections change. So you have, if it is a case, the reporter, the year, the volume, and then you just enter those information accordingly. Now, the easiest and then the simplest way to do this is you don't need to even download the document to your PC in order to add it. Just tap it right from the source online into your library, straightforward. So to do this, we will need to install the Mendeley web importer. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So this is very important because it is going to save you a lot of time and then effort. So if you are using Google Chrome, which I would suggest, or if you are using Mozilla, you can open it. Same thing, go to mendeley.com. So go to mendeley.com, the same page where you created the account. Now, in the download section, scroll to the far bottom, and then in the download section, you see web importer. Please, can you all see my cursor?
Yes.
So you see, yeah, you see web importer. So click on the web importer, and then depending on the browser you are using, it will give you the option, download for Chrome, download for Firefox, download for Edge. So click on the appropriate browser you are using and then download it. You can just install it within a minute. So kindly do that. It's the easiest way to add documents in your library. So if anybody is able to do that, kindly just show by hand, and that will be fine. So even if you are using a mobile phone, you can try the app. You can download the app and then you can try to add some documents. Has anybody been able to install the web importer? Yes, maybe show by hand. All right, okay. So some people have done it. So now I'll show you how to use it. So I am using Google Chrome. So I'm going to show you in Google Chrome. Once you install it, if you are using Chrome, you should see it in your browser on the upper right. So this is, you see the Mendeley symbol, which looks like an M in red, in white with a red background. So you should be able to see this in your browser, whether Microsoft Edge or you are using Mozilla or you are using Safari on a MacBook. So now, let's say you are writing on maybe COVID. So I'm just okay. Let me use my paper. So this is Science Direct, which if you are especially the PhD students and postgraduate students, MPhil, I'm sure you know Science Direct already. One of the largest database where you get published literature. So one other thing you should know is Mendeley is actually in connection with Elsevier. I think it belongs to Elsevier. So it is linked to all their databases, and each article that is published automatically has that option to add to Mendeley. So here, you can see under the paper, there's this plus button which says Add to Mendeley. So this makes it very simple. You don't even need to use the button that you've installed. When you click on this plus button, it automatically opens the importer. So you see it here, it has selected a document and you can easily add it in your library. The other way to do this, if you don't have this option, say maybe we are using Springer. So let's go to an article in energy diversification. So this is another one of my articles. Yeah, so this is Springer. Now you realize that here in Springer, you don't have that option that says Add to Mendeley. So what you can do here is to simply click on the Mendeley import button. So when you click on it, automatically it's going to read what information is on the web page, and then it will determine the type of document it is and extract all bibliometric information that you need in order for it to be added in your library. So you see that it has identified the article here, and you can see there's the PDF option in red. So this means that you can add the PDF of this document directly to your library. Now, for some articles, you notice you have to maybe pay to be able to download it. So when you click, you only have access to the abstract. So with those articles that the PDF is not freely available, you will not have this PDF option here. So I can then navigate to which folder I want to add it to in my library. So when you click on this drop-down menu here, you can see the folder that I created. Anyways, I think it's not showing here because I didn't sync my library. So quickly, let me do that. So because I created a new folder called Mendeley, I will sync it here. And what the syncing does is that it's going to reflect this new folder on my mobile phone app and then on the online section. So if I'm importing a document, I should be able to see this folder now. So what I'll do here again, and then let's see if we find Mendeley here. Still not. So I'll just reload this page and hit the button again. So just try to search for any paper, a journal article, and try adding it in your own device, and let's see how that goes. All right, so this time around, I think I should be able to see Mendeley. So here it is. So anytime you make a change in library, always remember to sync it so that it will sync across all your devices. So when I click, I think I've selected 2 folders. I don't need this, so I'm only going to add it in my Mendeley folder. You only click Add. And it will take some time because this one has a PDF. Once it's done, you see some green tick marks showing that it has been added. All right, so you see it, 2 tick marks, one for the PDF and then the second for the reference. So if there's no PDF, you only see for the reference. Now let's go to our library. So this is it. You realize that the document is not in our library yet. So what you have to do again is to sync. So when you sync, it's a way of kind of updating the library. So now you see that the new document that I added from online is showing up in the library now. So there it is. You have it with a PDF. And then when you click on it, you see all the details have come just in a single click. So details are correct. I click on that. Then you can download, double click, open, and then you can read it in your library. So this stays in your library forever, and you can access it anywhere. So that's it, how to use the import button. It works for all sources. Now, if you try to add maybe from a web page or something, Mendeley always try to decide what type of document it is. So before you add it, if you want to double check, just click on it on the publication on the document in this section, and then you see here, it has not been able to determine the document type, so it reads it as unspecified. So what I have to do is to click and tell Mendeley this is a journal article before adding it to my library. So you can make some edits here before you add the documents in your library. So that's it, which is very simple. And in this case, you see, this one has no PDF, free PDF. So it tells you PDF not found. So if I add it in my library, it's going to be only the reference, and then the PDF is not going to show up. So basically, this is, this is it, how to add a document with the various types of ways that I've explained. Anybody has been able to add a document? Or still trying to do it? Okay, okay. Ajua has been able to do it. That's fine. So let's proceed. Great. So in the next slide, it's talking about the import button, which I just spoke about. So we just move on to the next. So this is the web importer. We've discussed that. And then the syncing option that I mentioned. So always remember to sync anytime you make a change, even if it is on your phone, you read a document and then you make a change, sync it so that it will appear across all your other devices. Now you have added your documents, a lot of them. How do you organize these documents so that they are not all just jammed up? That's what we'll be looking at in this session. So I've already explained some of these things. So you can see documents by type, you can sort them, and then you can also see which ones you have read, which ones are favorites, which ones have PDFs, and which ones do not have PDFs. And this is how you organize your folders, which I already talked about. So I showed you how to create a folder earlier, and we have already added some documents. Now, in case you've added some documents and you forgot to maybe select the folder online, so the document is just added to your library without any folder, it's very simple to reorganize it. Just click, hold, and then you drag, and then you can drop it in any folder.
Ask a question.
Yeah, sure.
I added an article from I think that from Science Direct, but I can see it in my Mendeley.
So sync. Click on the sync button in your Mendeley. It should appear.
In the Mendeley?
Yeah. On the top left, you see sync.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I was saying you can easily rearrange documents into folders by simply clicking. You drag and then you drop it in any of the folders that you want. So you can select multiple documents and do this for them. So I can select all, and then you see the 2 documents, and then I'll just drop them in that folder. Now, let me display all documents in my library. So here they are. So I have Control A, Command, yeah. I have, if you look down here, I have 1,534 documents in my library in all. So all documents combined in these folders are 1,534. Now, I need to be able to manage these documents. So using the previous things that I explained, maybe I want to only display documents on climate and gender. So I come to the folder named climate and gender, I click on it, and only documents in this folder will be displayed. So now when I select again, you see that I have 100 documents, which means that folder contains 100 documents. So let's say I need to see my favorite documents. I click on the star. And then when I click on the star, so you see it, all documents that I've marked as favorite, they are now displayed. So you see the star icon. And then the white ones are those that I've not marked. So the same way, if I want to see documents that I've read and those that I've not read, I click on the black dot. So all this green means that I've not read these documents. I can sort it from the other way around, and then it shows you the documents I've read in black dots. And I can also sort by authors, and it gives you, sorry, by PDF, it gives you only PDF files in that order. Yeah, and you can sort by authors, by title. That's something you can simply do. So the other sorting that I spoke about is by the filtering. So you see filter by author. So all authors' names have been displayed here. So if I want to see the documents authored by one particular person, I simply click on their names here and all their documents will show. So this author has just one document in my library. If they have more than one, you see all those documents here. And you can also filter by tags. So when I click filter by tags, you see that I have climate change, I have decentralization, I have energy, I have Ghana, which means these are tags that I've created. So how did I create these tags? Now to create a tag, simply click on a document like this in your library, and then go to the right column, the very last one, and under the abstract, you see tags. So under the tags, I can just tag this one. Let me see, sustainable energy development. So maybe I tag this one as energy development. So that's it, very easy and simple. So once I do this, and then maybe I do it for a couple other documents, and I want to just see only documents that are dealing with energy and development, I come to filter by tags, and then you see that now energy and development has appeared in this tag section. So when I click on it, you see that document is being displayed now. So basically that's how you create a tag. Now, the other thing I would like to talk about is how to add notes and then annotations, which is very easy if you have already been using PDFs. I mean, you are reading the document and then you highlight information and then you add a note. It's the same thing in Mendeley. Just open the document and then you find a piece of information that you want to save for later. Just click, drag, and then highlight this way. And automatically you see three options. So the first one in the form of a pen is a highlight. The second one is to add a note. And then the third one is an option to copy if you want to copy and paste somewhere. So when I click on highlight, you see it has highlighted yellow. You can always change the color here and then do a couple of other things. Now, if you want to add a note, it's the same thing. It shows here, you just click and then the note function pops up. So you can add your note here and then you save it. It's displayed in this format. So once I do this and then I save it, when I open the same document on my phone and I open this particular PDF, in this same section, I'll see this highlight, I'll see the note I've added. If I open it in my web browser, I'll see the same highlight, I'll see the comment I've added. So basically, that's how you add documents. I mean, you annotate documents and then you add notes and highlights. So these are things that you can just, very basic things you can do on your own. So in the slides, they are the things that I've just demonstrated. So how to create tags, this is what you have, how to filter them. And then the other good thing, or other important thing here is how to check for duplicates. So maybe you have been writing and then you get to a point, you don't know whether you already have a document in your library or not. So you decided to add it again. So Mendeley helps you to identify documents that have been duplicated in your library. And to do that, simply go to the Tools section on top of your Mendeley desktop app, and then you see Check for Duplicates. So once you click Check for Duplicates, Mendeley is going to run through your library and it will show you all documents that have been duplicated. So this is it. Once you find duplicates, it gives you the option to merge. So if 2 or 3 documents have been duplicated, Mendeley will ask you to merge these documents into one, and you can simply do that. So that's how you check for duplicates. Go to Tools, and then you click on Check for Duplicates, and you should be able to find all duplicates in your library. So very simple on that one too. So highlighting PDFs, I spoke about that. We just round over it. And then this is the other important part very big part of the presentation and should be leading us to our concluding sections. Now you have added documents in your library. The most important part is using it in your Word document, how to add the citations. Now you are writing in Microsoft Word. How do you add your references? So to do that, we are going to do another download again. We need to install the Mendeley Word citation plugin. So please, let's go back to the same Mendeley website and then scroll to the bottom. And under the web importer, where you downloaded the web importer, this time around you see citation plugin. So please click on the citation plugin, and then you'll be able to add it in your library, on your Microsoft Word. So kindly do that and then add it. Sorry, yeah, this is Mendeley site. Sorry, just leave this one for now. Let's do it the other way. Just go back to your desktop app, please, and then go to tools. Tools, yeah, this is the easiest way to do it. This is the easiest way. Go to tools again, where we check for duplicates, and then the first option says install web importer. We already did that. The second one, you see install MS Word plugins. So mine is saying uninstall because I already have installed. Yours, you should see install MS Word plugin. So please just go to tools in your desktop app and then you see install MS Word plugin. It should take less than a minute to set up. Kindly do it. And if anybody has been able to do it, please show by hand and we'll just continue with the presentation. It's very easy and very simple. Just hit the button and then you have the option to add it. Has anybody been able to do it? Do I see a hand? Not yet. Anybody? Please, if you have been able to do it, just show by hand. So maybe you have done it, but you didn't see anything pop up on your screen. So you are wondering whether it has been installed or not. To double check, please open your Microsoft Word and click on references in your Microsoft Word. So once you click on that, you should see the Mendeley symbol here and with 3 buttons that have that symbol displayed. Okay, Stephen has been able to do it. So you should see insert citation, merge citation, and you should see open Mendeley. Who else has been able to do it? This is a very important part, the part that makes your writing easier. So, all right, Frimpong has it. So just open your Word if you have installed it and then click on references. You should be able to see these 3 options here. Okay. So how do we use this? It's pretty simple. So let's say you are writing, let me get some text from somewhere. Just copy some text from somewhere. Open with preview. Yeah, just want to copy this. Okay. So you are writing and then you have your text in Word and you need to cite a reference. So yeah, I want to add a citation to this. So back in the day, you have to open the bracket, and then you see maybe Frimpong, 2020. And now I have to go down and then see reference list. So now I have to, and then I type maybe Frimpong and the document title and all that. So each of the references you add, you have to keep doing it manually. And the challenge comes if you have to now arrange it in alphabetical order. So with Mendeley, this problem goes away automatically. So now if I want to cite, it's easy. I just put the cursor in the section where you want to insert the citation, and then hit the insert citation button here. So this opens a small Mendeley citation editor, and it allows you to search for the author that you want to cite. So I have this document by Nyantechi Frimpong. So I'm searching for Frimpong in my library. So it shows up here. So if I have more than one document in my library that is authored by this person, they will all show up here, and I have to just select the appropriate one. So all I have to do is to click on this, and then I click OK. So automatically, Mendeley has added it. Very simple. So you can try and then do it also. The other thing you can do, maybe I've added this citation, but I want to add another one in the same bracket, maybe 2 or 3 authors, and they have made the same point or they share the same idea. It's simple. Just click in the citation that you have already inserted, and then go to insert citation again. So already it's here. Then I can add another one. I can add as many as I want, a lot of them. You just click OK, and they'll all be displayed. So you have all of them here in your work. Very simple. So this is how it is done. Now, maybe you have inserted this, and then somehow you want to add another reference, another citation, but you have inserted it separately, like this. So you have them, the two of them displaying side by side. Mendeley helps you to merge this. So all you have to do, just select the two citations that you've entered differently. And that is what this button does, merge citations. So when you click, the two of them will be added in the same bracket. So also very simple to do. So that's how you insert citations in Mendeley. Very simple. Now, the other thing here is the citation style. So like I mentioned in the beginning, maybe your department has a specific citation style, or maybe you are submitting to a particular journal and they have their own citation format. So you can switch between the formats here automatically. And there are a number of them by default in Mendeley. So if you want to use maybe the Chicago manual style, you just click on it, and then Mendeley will format it. If you want to use, let's say, Harvard, Mendeley will do that. If you want to, let me get something very different. Nature, yeah. So you see, this is the nature format. It puts them in the form of a superscript 1 to 5, and is displayed here. So this is how you add the citations. And then to now have your reference list is very simple. So when I now create my reference list like this, all you have to do is to come, put the cursor at where you want to insert a reference list, and then click on Insert Bibliography. When you click on that, you see automatically your references have appeared. So all the work that you have cited in the test is going to appear in your reference list automatically. Now, the good thing is if you are required to change the style, maybe you submitted to one journal, they did not accept, and you have to submit to another journal, but this journal has its own citation format. So you have to reformat your references. It's very simple. Just come back to citations. So let's say this time around, we are going to use the Journal of the American Chemical Society. Just click, Mendeley automatically formats your inter citations, and then it will change them in the reference list. So maybe we go back to APA. When we click, automatically the inter citation is going to change, and you see that it has also updated it in the reference list. So this is very easy to do, and it's very, very convenient thing to do. So try to add a citation and generate the reference list, and let's see how that goes. If anybody has been able to do that, just show by hand, and then we'll look at the next feature. Okay, yeah, Frimpong has been able to do it. Anyone else? So if you have any questions, just note them down. I'll finish the presentation soon, and then we just have, okay, Ajo has done it. We just have a presentation and a question and answer session at the end. I have like very few things to cover, so we'll be finishing soon. So yeah, this is how you add the citations. And then the other thing that you are about to install that I said, no, wait, is the Mendeley site. It's a new feature. So you realize that with the citations that we have done now, when you click on insert citations, it opens this Mendeley citation editor and then you search for the document. Now to have this citation editor working, your Mendeley desktop app needs to be open. This one needs to be open before that citation editor will be able to work. So if you want to cite documents without necessarily opening the Mendeley desktop app, that is when you use the Mendeley site. So Mendeley site will automatically give you all the documents in your library. They are going to show in this column without necessarily opening the desktop version. So basically that's the difference. So let me try signing into that one also. I hope I haven't forgotten my password. Hopefully it works. Yeah. Okay. So this basically is going to show you all documents in your library. Okay. The citation style. Update documents, and then we are all set up. So let's see. Yeah. So continue. So all documents in my library will now be displayed in this section. You see that? So now, even if I'm working in Word, I don't need to open my desktop app. I can just use the Mendeley site, and then I search for the author in this section. So if I search for that author, I just click this, and then I put the cursor in the document where I want to insert, then I click insert citation from here. So it is added. So that's how the Mendeley site feature works. It's a new feature that has been developed recently. So you might experience a few glitches when you are trying to use it because it's still under development. But basically, that's how it works, and that's the difference between that one and the desktop app. So if you want to add it also in your Word, then this time around you go to the web page, or yet still, you can go to your desktop app, go to tools, and then you see get Mendeley site, you click on it, and you can be able to download and add it. So that's it for Mendeley in Microsoft Word. And for the reference styles, maybe a particular reference style that you want is not here. So you see there's an option for more styles. So when you click on this, it will open the Mendeley desktop app. You have more references here. And you can also add your reference styles. So now many journals, so if you go to like get more styles, you can search for a particular style and then you add it. The other thing is now many journals that have their own formats or styles that are not consistent with the major ones that we know. They create this reference formats and they are available to download from the journal website. So for instance, if I open a document or a journal, let's say world development. Mostly I find this for Elsevier journals. It's like other publishing houses don't have many of that yet. So when you go to the guide for author, or the guide for authors section of this journals, you go to references. Let's see, references. Okay, maybe I just have to scroll. So I'm looking for references here. All right, so this is references. So they tell you the referencing format and all that you want or they want from you. But when you go down, they give examples, and there's this part. Where is it? Yeah, reference manager software. So when you go to the reference management software section, you see users of Mendeley desktop can easily install the reference style of this journal by clicking the following link. So if you are submitting to this journal and you want to use this style, but it's not in your Mendeley library, just click on use this style, and then it will ask you if you want to open this in the Mendeley. So if you already have Mendeley, you click on yes, I have Mendeley, and then it says allow this to open in Mendeley. So once you do that, now you see it has been added, World Development Style added. So when you go back to your Word document and you go to the types or the styles, you should see World Development here. So when I click on it, it will format it and then give me the style of that particular journal. So it's very easy to do that. So that's it about Mendeley in Word. Very simple once you have those features. So we've been through this. I'll just run over the slides because we've done the installation. We've done the citation, adding it, merging, and then how to add the reference list. We've done how to do the styling. We've seen that. The last thing that I'll share, you can create groups in Mendeley and share references, but this feature is very limited now to only 3 people for the free version. So the other thing you would have noticed is that accessing documents, it's very difficult because a lot of these publications are in paywall journals. So anytime, sometimes some documents you want to download, they ask you to pay $34, 35 euros or stuff like that just to be able to download the paper. But then some institutions have like access, they buy subscription. So maybe my university is having access to a particular journal, your university does not have it, or your university has access to a particular library online, mine doesn't have it. So the good thing about Mendeley groups is that you can create a group where we can all be in the same group. So if I need a document that I can't find in my school library, I can ask in the group, can somebody help me with this document? So if you have it in your library, you can easily share it with me on Mendeley, and this is allowed. So in the groups, you can also read documents together and then annotate and add notes. So if you are students doing like maybe a group assignment or something, you can use this feature to collaborate on those kind of assignments. So to create a group in Mendeley, it's simple. It's also on the far left where you create a folder. So here you see create group. Just click on it and then you enter your group name and then it can be added. So like I mentioned, the basic version now is limited to only 3 people, and you can create private groups that you can use for your collaborations. And then, yeah, private groups, which I mentioned, you can work on documents together, which I mentioned. And there's also the web version where you can explore new research. So when you log into your Mendeley online, you should see this interface rather than use PowerPoint. Let me do it practically. So let me go back to Mendeley. I'll just sign in. So once you sign in, you can be able to search for documents online. And if you're also an author, you can be able to track the metrics of your publication. So here, I can simply search for a document. If I'm looking for a document, I can search by author, I can search by topic. So if I click on, let's say climate in Ghana. So Mendeley will be able to give me all documents about climate change in Ghana. So I can sort them by year, I can sort them by the document type and all that. So here you can discover new research. And then if you are also an author, you want to see who is reading your documents, how many citations and stuff, you can easily do that. So I will search for a couple of my papers here. So let's see, and let's see. So this is my paper, some of my papers, you can see them here. So what you see here, you see the citations and you see readers. So the readers tells you how many people have added this document in their Mendeley library. Now I can simply click on this to get a breakdown of who is reading my research and what is it that they do. So here, once I click on this, it gives me an option to click further, and now I have full breakdown. So you have the number of citations, you have the number of readers, and then you can see how many people have been reading it over time, and then you see the type of people who are reading it. So majority of them are PhD and master students, some are researchers, some are lecturers, some are associate professors, and also their discipline. And then you see the article metrics here, how many news sources have mentioned it, and then on social media, how many people shared, how many people liked, how many people tweeted. You can see all these details on your article here. So this is another feature about Mendeley that you can use to track your research. You can use to discover new research. You just log in online and then you can do it. The other thing here is your library. So the same library you have in the desktop app, that same library is up here online in the web browser. So you don't even need to open the web browser if you just need to read the documents or access your library. So once you open it, it's basically the same interface. So you have add new, you can add documents in your web browser. You can see the authors, you can see the documents, you can see the sources and all that. And those that have PDFs, you can equally, read them. So you see, read PDF, get PDF if it's available. You can equally do that here. So briefly, that is it about Mendeley on the web browser section. So this is what I just talked about. So you see your article metrics. And here are some few help guides. If you go to the Mendeley website, which you are already there, the same page where you signed in, just scroll to the bottom, you will be able to find these guides. So Mendeley site citation guides, you can make use of them. And you can also reach out to me as a Mendeley community advisor if you are facing any challenges. So what I'll do here, let me drop this in the chat box so that if you want to connect on what do you call it, LinkedIn or Twitter, you can easily do that. Now I will navigate to the chat box and I'll post that. So that's the end of the presentation. We'll have some questions now. In the meantime, this is my LinkedIn and then Twitter profiles. I think I have to paste them separately. Let me add LinkedIn this way and see still. So yeah, you can just connect with me there in case you want to make some inquiries later, or you can just shoot an email, which was displayed on the first slide. So we can have some questions and answer session here, probably for the next 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. Thank you very much for your attention. Let me fix this LinkedIn link.
Yeah, thank you. Please, the Mendeley app, I didn't rename it because I can't find it in the App Store and in the Play Store as well.
Mendeley app? No, it's not. Oh, you can find it in the App Store. I think you're probably using Android.
I'm using both Android and iOS. But
so you find it in iOS. I'm not sure there's an Android version, but iOS there is. You can download it.
I can't find it in both. And if I type it,
really,
what comes out is researcher.
Research. So what you can do instead of searching for it in the App Store, search for it in Google, and then you can get the option to install it directly from the web. Because for the iOS, it depends on maybe it's not available in the Ghana store for the iOS.
Okay.
So you can check that.
Thank you.
For some reason, my LinkedIn link won't just work. Well, anyways, maybe you can just copy it and then you paste it in the browser. It should be able to work.
Yeah, Mark.
Hello.
Yeah, there are some few questions at the chat box that
Okay.
I think you can also have a look at.
Okay, in the chat box?
Yes, or if I should read to your hearing also, I will do that.
Yeah.
And the last one, a lady by name Ajwa Parker asked a question. So just to clarify, you are saying, is it allowed to share a paid document within Mendeley group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the group is private. So it's allowed to share privately. And it's done, even if you're on ResearchGate, it's allowed to share documents privately. So like on my ResearchGate, all my articles that are published in paywall journals, there's an option to save a private full text. So somebody can hit a request button on ResearchGate and say, can you please share the full text with me? Privately, you can share it. The only exception is that you cannot upload that document in any public platform, maybe your personal blog or your website. You cannot make it public, but privately, you can share it. So sometimes, even if you want to access a document and you have difficulties, you can just email the corresponding author of the paper and ask them to share, and then they'll share it with you. It's done. So you can share it.
I believe, Parker, you've been answered, right? Another person asked a question that, where is it? Where is it? Let me scroll to the top.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen this one, maybe from the top. Can you export citation from other reference managers like Endnote? That's a very good question. Yes, 100% possible. You can do that. So just go to export in your Endnote, and then you export either in RIS or in BibTeX format or in any other format. And you come to Mendeley. This is the option to do that. Go to Files, and then you see Import. Oh, my screen is not being shared. Sorry, let me share the screen again and show you quickly how to do that. So that's a very good question. Maybe you are already working with one reference manager, and then you want to import your library into Mendeley. So to do that, in your desktop app, go to Files, and then you see the Import option here. So here you see Endnote option. So if you are importing from Endnote, you select this option. And then if you are importing from BibTeX, sometimes you go to Google Scholar, or even on the publication page of an article, there's normally an option that download citation or download reference. When you click on it, you will likely have the file in one of these formats, whether RIS or BibTeX. So depending on the file format, just click on any of them, and Mendeley will automatically add all your documents. It's done very easy. So that's a good question.
One Prosper said that he was finding it so difficult to install. Like Michael said, like Mark said, you need to at least go to Google Chrome. You can do that so that it will help you. If you have any challenges, you can contact him, or you can contact me for any assistance on that. Please, we've sent the survey. Those who have not filled it should fill it, because the video we sent you, those who will fill it, their email, so that they'll be able to have access to this presentation and any other relevant material that will be needed for that. Feel free and ask questions so that he can help you, please.
So I've seen the sport.
About the availability of the video. How do we get to
the recorded video?
Yes.
Yes, it will be sent to your emails. If you only fill the survey link that has been sent to the chat box, you will get the video.
Survey link.
Yes, yes. Scroll at 2:42 p.m. over here, my time. I don't know where you are, so you can check there.
Yeah. So maybe you can reshare, the moderator can reshare it. Just
yeah, Mr. Mike, reshare the link so that they can feel it.
So there's another question from Ajua here. If you've forgotten that you've already added an article, will it alert you or will it duplicate the entry? So normally in the library, you will not notice it until you hit the check for duplicates option. But if you have the duplicates in your document, maybe you added document 1 today, and then 3 days after you added that same document without knowing. So you have 2 different dates, even though it's the same document. Now, when you are inserting the citation in Microsoft Word, maybe you have inserted already document that you have entered in day 1, the same document. Then you are writing in the same document, a different section, you want to insert that same citation. But then when you entered the author name, you selected the same document which you added in your library at a later date. So in that case, Microsoft Word will give you a notification that you already have an older version of this document. Do you want to replace it or you want to maintain the old one? So in that instance, it will help you to sort that out. But in your library, you have to use the duplicate function. Just click on it, and then it will sort that out for you. I hope that answers your question. And Mimi, there's a question from Mimi who says, how does the Mendeley interface look like trying to download on my phone? So I don't know what phone it is, whether Android or iOS, but like I said, I'm not sure. No, there's an Android version because I think I have it on my tab. Let me check. So if you have a tab, yeah, there's it. I have it on my tab. So this is how it looks like. So even for those using Android, you can have it. You can download it. So you see, I don't know if I'm not sure you can see my screen very well, but you can install it, and then the interface on the phone is quite different. You don't have all 3 columns as you have in the laptop, but you have all your folders. So once you click on the folder, your documents are going to open up, and then you can read them, but you still have all the details, the bibliometric information, and then you can add the notes and all that you can sync across devices. So you should be able to download it for Android and then iOS. If you can't find it in the App Store, just search for it in Google, Mendeley for maybe Android or Mendeley for iOS. You should have the APK or something and be able to install it. In my case, I found it in the App Store. So you can check for it. Or you go to the Mendeley site. Let me quickly check that. I think there should be an option to select the kind of device you want to download it for. So you go to the Mendeley website and hit on. Oh, okay, that's easier. That's easier. So let me share my screen again. Go to the Mendeley site where you created the account. When you scroll to the far bottom, share. Can you see my screen? You see downloads, and the downloads, you see get it on Google Play, get it on App Store. So when you hit those buttons, I think it should take you right to the source where you can install it. That should be easier. Can you see it? So just go to mendeley.com and then scroll to the bottom of the page. You should see those 2 options there, and you'll be able to download it on your phone. So I hope that helps with Mimi's question. So this is our recording, which Frimpong spoke about. Recording. Yeah, so about the paid documents, which I mentioned, yeah, privately. The groups are private, so you share the documents privately. So that is allowed. So I think those are all the questions I've seen in the chat box. If anybody has another question, feel free to ask and then we can address it.
Right, this is the time. Ask questions. Ask questions. If I were you, I'll be able to ask so that the other presentation, there were a lot of people on board. So it was overlapping. Today, they are not many. So feel free so that you can get even a second-hand lesson again. Because by 10 minutes time, you should be leaving. Oh, yeah, let's say in 10 minutes time, yeah, by 30. So please, he's here for you. It's free. So ask questions and solve your problems now.
So yeah, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. And see, I know it's been a bit of, I mean, like quite a lot of information, but at least once you pick the to it when you practice. So just spend some time on it and then.
Mark, I think there's a question in there.
In the chat box, okay.
Oh, no, it's just a promo or an ad. Mimi, I think you should be able to install it now so that if you have any other follow-up questions, you do that.
Yes, please. I'm installing it now.
So that I can help you for you to have your hands on.
Yes, I'm installing it now. So in case of any question now.
Dr. Jacqueline, is it okay? My colleague from Kenya. Dr. Jacqueline, are you there? I can see you. Yeah, his microphone is mute. And Ogbekwa, my own sister too is there. I can see her. I hope you are having it okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay, Dr. Jacqueline, it's okay.
Okay. Hey, my sister from Nigeria.
Hello, Ebenezer.
Yeah.
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay. All right.
It's okay.
Funga or Fanga, is it okay? Please let's hear from you. This is the time.
It's not, because I'm trying to install it. It's saying I should enter with my institution. So what am I supposed to enter there?
Right,
Are you installing on your PC
like when signing
or on
it
your
up?
phone?
On my PC.
Okay. Let me share the screen and then see how best to help with that. Okay, so let's see. Let me log out. So is it saying you should sign in with your institution, or maybe it's just requiring that you add your affiliation?
It's saying that I sign in with my institution. Okay. I've managed to put in my email, but it's saying signing with the institution.
So please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you did this, click a free account, right? Did you see that button? Click, create a free account.
Yes.
Okay. Because I already have an account, this thing wants me to log in, but that's not what I want to do.
No, the one you're sharing now?
Yeah,
I didn't see this. No, I didn't see this. It went straight to the one that came after this one.
Okay. So just re-enter mendeley.com in your web browser like this. Just go to mendeley.com and then you should be able to see this. Now, if this one comes, this is what came, sign in. So if you don't have already have an account, you should be able to see create an account option, or maybe create click on. I'm guessing this is what you saw. So just ignore it and then go back to the main page and use that process. Unless you already have an account, you shouldn't be seeing this. And if it's still happening, change the browser use a different browser and go to mendeley.com to do that. Does that help?
Okay. Let me try.
Oh, okay.
Right. While she tries, John Ivo, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. John happens to be my student at Gofregia Secondary School, and he's now in Winneba. Yeah. A good student, of course, in accounting. Right, John. So now you've installed everything, you've understand everything, right?
I'm actually using my phone right now. My laptop is currently not available. So, but I got everything though. I'm taking notes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking notes, so I'll get to it.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. So I just did the installation on my phone, and I actually did the signing in via the Google Chrome.
Okay. On your phone?
So in signing on my phone.
Okay.
In signing in on the app, I'm getting a feedback which says an invalid request was made by a third-party app. I don't know how.
So maybe I'm guessing that will have to do with some settings on your phone. But if you have the account, then just go back to your PC and then log in on your PC. Have you downloaded the desktop version?
It's not on my PC yet.
Okay, so just try and then download it and use that same login information, and then you should be able to log in. On the website is the same thing. Go to mendeley.com and then use the sign in option. Use the same details you use in signing up, and you should be able to log in.
I think the app is not enabled for some countries in Africa, so it's difficult getting them on.
Oh, really?
Yes. If you Google it, you search for it, and then you're provided with a link to open it in the App Store or the Play Store.
App Store?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't allow you to.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know about that. So maybe just try using the PC version, which I guess you've been using most of the time. So
yeah, that's what I'm using.
Samsung XM. Please, are you okay? One using Samsung SM. Wisdom, please, are you okay?
Yeah, please, I need some help with the survey, the form, filling the form.
You need a link, right?
Yeah, I'm there now, but this question, what is your highest level of qualification? I'm actually here to end my MPhil. So what am I expected to put in my bachelor's degree or the MPhil?
Okay, I think your bachelor is okay.
Okay, because
that is what you've attained now. Yeah.
Following.
Okay, if you are doing masters, you can write that one there. Yeah, that's your highest for now.
Okay, I'm actually here to do my thesis work. That's true.
All right. Please, Wisdom, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm okay.
All right. We want to make sure that everyone is okay before we end the section.
Thank you very much. I'm okay.
Right. Who else? All right. If you have any other questions, Infinix Hot 6. Are you okay?
I think maybe if there are no other questions, perhaps we can take maybe a group picture.
Yeah.
And then
so that on your video, unmute yourself video so that we can take a screenshot picture. Elizabeth, are you okay? Elizabeth Ochima.
We have possible. Possible?
Okay, are you okay? Right.
Thank you, Mr. Eben, for the first educative analysis on research. We are most grateful, and all our lovely participants. We hope that with this research management tool, you'll be able to build your professional online presence. Thank you so much. And so we'll keep updating you on our next program so that you could join, and also let your friends join as well. My name is Michael once again. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.
Bye. We will send a video to everybody. So